The Mountain West Championship game is here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slasher U. I'm your host, Christian Rao, here with my co-host, Steve Feck, and we're going to break down the Mountain West Conference Championship game between Fresno State and Boise State. This should be a fantastic matchup. We're going to see this one on Fox on Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This should be a really good one. Fresno State 8-4 against Boise State 9-3. And before we really dig deep into this one, I got to say how surprised I am to see Boise State in this one, Steve. At the beginning of the year, they had the troubles of their quarterback transferring out. They found a way to overcome everything they needed to do, enough to win their division in the Mountain West. They won the Mountain Division by not only a small margin, they were undefeated in their conference. The only undefeated team in the entire Mountain West Conference, Fresno State, was 7-1, but they did some very impressive things for what they had to overcome this season.
Yeah, but it also points to show that when there is a winning culture, when there is an affirming culture already in place, whether a player transfers out through the transfer portal or if they blow out an ACL in spring practice, it's still something that you need to overcome. And I think Boise State recruits the kind of players in, but also when they have the players there, they instill in them, look, if we play together as a team, if we follow our game plans, we're going to win football games. And people think Boise State, it's the blue turf and isn't that cute and things like that. Boise State has been a factor for 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, really on the national scene. So the only thing that potentially makes me a little bit nervous about this game is now Boise State did beat Fresno State pretty handily when they met earlier in the year, but Jake Haener wasn't there under center for Fresno State. He was hurt. They had some key secondary pieces that also missed that game. Since Haener is back, I mean, it's almost an entirely different football game. Like we've talked about a couple of quarterbacks that we were talking about with Coastal Carolina. We were talking about that championship game and right. McCall potentially not playing, and it just changes the dynamic. I mean, it really did for Fresno State. I mean, Fresno State is a good, solid, well-coached football team, but without Jake Haener, they don't have a chance to compete against the better teams in their conference. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. He has, even with missing the time that he did, and it wasn't a long stretch, but it just, unfortunately, was just a key game. He has 2,432 yards, 17 TDs, 3 interceptions. That's tough to replace when you're placing a team that has a quality defense like Boise State. And Boise State has a top 10 defense. So yes. the only way that Fresno State can compete against the Boise State is to have that secret weapon, because Haener brings out the best in his weapons. It's not just, he doesn't make the weapons, he brings out the best because they know he's going to get the ball to him consistently. He's not going to make forced errors and turnovers at key times. That gives their backs, that gives their receivers, I don't want to say more creativity, but I think it gives them more confidence to maybe try something, to break a route or to break off tackle and get a thing. So that's going to be the key. If Boise State keeps Haener under wraps, then it's going to be a long afternoon. Okay. Yeah. If Haener has his moments and can trigger a big play or two, and it goes into the fourth quarter, now we're having a different conversation. I'm still going to go with Boise State in that scenario, but now you're going to have a really entertaining football game. I do worry about Fresno State being able to stop the run, and Boise State's going to just hand the ball off, grind it, let their defense shut down whoever the opponent is. They did a pretty good job throughout the year. Shutting down some pretty talented people. I'm going with Boise State in this one, but as you're watching the game, watch that dynamic, Jake Haener against Boise State's linebacker core and the secondary. Can he find just enough of an opening to get a ball there? Because he's got the arm strength and he has the experience as a 3-year starter. Don't forget, I mean, he was started at University of Washington. He thought about going back to University of Washington at some point, but luckily he stayed there for Fresno State, and he's going to be able to make big plays and get balls in the seams that a lot of quarterbacks simply can't.
Yeah, Boise State is a 3-point favorite, and I'm with you. I think they win this game. I think if they get ahead early and Fresno State is forced to get to pass it and really become one-dimensional, they're screwed. I think Boise State is just that good against defending against the pass. They are averaging less than 160 yards per game, yards against it on the pass. I think Boise State is going to be able to handle Fresno State easily. I think this -3 is a really easy play for me, actually, to pick on Boise State side. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think we're going to see them, we get to see them at Boise. It's at, the game is at Boise. That's something also to keep in mind as well. And that is something that, again, they're undefeated in conference. They have a nice record. They're 5-1 at home this year. I think it's 6-1. So I see Boise State winning this matchup. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think will win the Mountain West Conference Championship game? Is it Fresno State? Is it Boise State? Let us know your score prediction in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. And thanks for watching SlasherU.